Welcome to the Play That Weight Out Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Of course, I'm Jesse, your host, and like always, we have Wyatt joining us. I tell you, last week we had a lot of things changed especially Thursday. A lot of things happened for the Tennessee Vols. And so we're going to jump right in there. So, again, thank you for joining us. First thing is Aaron Beasley got reinstated. I guess actually on Thursday he actually had the charges drop, and the very next day he was reinstated with the team. So that being said, man, is that a big deal to you, Wyatt, or is it not a big deal, or is it irrelevant in our success next year?
I feel like it's kind of going to be a catch-22 type thing because we've talked all year about how we're not worried about offense whatsoever, but our defense, we need all the help we can get, and especially at the linebacker position this year, because with Toto heading to Alabama, then Martavius French also getting suspended. I think we're working with maybe 3, maybe 4 linebackers for next year. So Aaron Beasley, it's a big deal. We got a little bit of that depth that we need at linebacker, but the catch-22 part, I've been reading a lot of message boards. Apparently this guy is he's kind of trouble. He's always kind of been in trouble situations like this. And so I have a feeling he might get into more trouble before the season even starts. So hopefully he can learn his lesson. He's got that second chance, and he'll be ready to go by fall. But just from the message boards, hopefully this guy makes it, but I don't know. But I am glad he's getting his second chance, though charges got dropped, though, because I think these kids deserve second chances.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm with you. I mean, actually, I feel like it's kind of irrelevant, even though the defense is going to get shredded next year, I believe.
Absolutely.
I feel like.
Absolutely,
but a bigger deal that happened this past week is Greg Emerson. He started not last year but the year before on the defensive line, and he entered the transfer portal. Now I know we've had a couple guys come in from Clayton or from Southern California, and then we also had the guy from Kansas come in. Yeah. But man, I tell you, man, with the high-powered offense that everybody thinks we're going to have, and the actual let me think here. The hybrid, man, I feel like we need an 8-9 man rotation up front because they're going to be on the field a lot. The defense is going to be on the field a lot. So I'm actually disheartened, I guess you could say, a little by that situation. How do you feel about
that? I think Greg Emerson was a huge loss. Very highly touted kid coming out. I think he came out the JUCO route, actually. I think he went to the Independence. He was on that Last Chance U show, I think.
Oh, was he?
Okay. I think he was.
I know he was from Jackson, Tennessee, right?
Okay, yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, and then he went JUCO. I think he played Independence Community College in Kansas. I think he was on the show Last Chance U. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge loss. Kind of battled injuries here and there, so we hadn't seen his full potential yet, how great he actually can be. And I think he was kind of looking to be a leader on this defense this year. And now we're down another starter out on the defense. It seems like we're losing one every single week. I mean, like you said, we had some big additions with Juwan Mitchell coming in from Texas. That's a huge get. I think he can be a leader, but he's coming in straight from another school. It's going to hard start off leading. We need, we need all the transfers we can get, but we still need some leaders, some guys with experience that can help these younger guys out, perform. And so losing Greg Emerson, that's a huge loss for the Vols this fall.
And forgot to ask for the viewers, what's your thoughts on Aaron Beasley coming back, Greg Emerson leaving? We want to hear what you have to say. That's really a big part of the show, really. I guess last Thursday, Caden Salter got dismissed from the team. And, that's very unfortunate. But what's your thoughts on that?
So I was upset because he was our highest – pretty sure he was our highest touted recruit coming out this year. And – again, we've been saying whole year we're not worried about offense in the fall. Like whoever Heupel puts in under center playing quarterback, we're not worried at all. We know he's going to do a good job because Heupel always has successful offenses everywhere he goes. However, it is disappointing to see your highest touted guy come in and get arrested not even a month into campus and then gets a second chance. I think his charges from the first one just cleared maybe 2 weeks ago or something. And now he's already in trouble again, getting kicked off the team. And I think Heupel had no option but to kick him off the team. However, did you read his goodbye letter to the fan base? It kind of irked me.
It irked you?
Yeah.
No, you talking about on Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter. It made it seem like almost like he thinks he should be getting another chance.
Oh, really? That's funny. That's not how I read into it. That's not how I read into it.
That's how I interpreted it. I guess luckily other people have other interpretations. Hopefully, I just looked a little too much into it. But I just don't know who's going to pick him up now. I mean, because I don't.
Oh man, come on now.
I mean,
he's a quarterback,
he's
a highly talented.
but no big school. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get one of these big schools. I really don't think.
We'll see.
He may, but I mean. He may get a big school. I think he'll get a Power 5, but I think it'll probably be kind of
something like Tulane.
Maybe Tulane. I was thinking he could go to like maybe a lower SEC, lower Big Ten. Kind of someone. But I hope the best to him. But I mean, I think Heupel had his hands tied behind his back with this one. I don't think there's much he could really do. It's like, dude, you haven't even been on campus 6 months yet. You've got arrested twice. What do you expect me to do here?
Right. Well, we have our first comment, so I definitely want to get into that. Get to that. We have Trent Matherly. UT has been out of control for many years, and then also zero leadership. Our offense sucked last year coaching. Thanks for the obvious, Trent. I'm just joking. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And so it has been, yeah. And then we had what James. I don't even worry about what James said. But all right, yeah.
Trent hit it on the head. I mean, but hopefully we should see some better offenses this year. That's what I'm excited about. That's why I'm kind of excited about Heupel, is because we may get to see some offense. However, if we're losing games 45-52, we're still going to be mad at the end of the year.
Going back to the Salter situation, do you feel like the coaching staff made the right decision? Do you like the way they handled it, etc.?
I'm going to say I'm not happy about the situation, but I think they did what they had to do. Mm-hmm. If it was maybe he played a whole nother year, then got arrested, stayed out of trouble. But I mean, it's dude, your charges just cleared from the first arrest. Mm-hmm. I don't even think it's been 2 weeks since the charges were cleared, and now he's getting arrested again.
Right.
I think he had broken taillights and a tinted license plate or whatever it was. They found 4 grams of marijuana in the car. I mean, it's just. Dude, yeah, you're a young kid, but you know better, and so I think that's the way Heupel's kind of looking at it. His hands were tied; he had to do what he had to do.
Right. So, viewers, do y'all know, or do you know what happened to Mario McNeil? Is that what the guy who got arrested with him? Or I don't even know if he got arrested. I guess he was with him.
He was with him, and I think he was dismissed with a simple citation from the scene. I don't even know if that kid will be back, if he'll be suspended, or what the situation. Yeah.
Okay. Man. I had lost my train of thought. Go ahead, keep talking, because I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, yeah, you're good. So, and then another departure we have is Malachi Wideman, which
thank you.
is very disappointing. He came in as a 4-star recruit out of high school, and I was excited about this guy because he was a basketball and football player. So
what year did he come out? I'm sorry.
He was a part of the 2020 recruiting class.
Okay.
So his though, you think he'd be upset with his playing time. His kind of sounded. Kind of more like he wasn't getting fair opportunity for football and basketball, and that's what he wants. He wants kind of both sports to be treated equal, playing time wise. And the way that he said goodbye, he said, "I'm looking for a university where my basketball and football, or my football and basketball skills will be like treated equally," or something like that. Is the way he said it in his goodbye letter to Tennessee. So I think he's just kind of looking for, he wants to be that 2-sport athlete. Maybe that wasn't being respected by Tennessee. They want him to do one or the other. I don't know, but still a huge loss. Not as big of a loss as a defensive guy because he's on the offense, and the whole year we've been preaching not to worry as much about offense. We think Tennessee's going to score points. Heupel always has, but still, you lose a highly touted guy the way Tennessee's been. You need as many highly touted guys as you can get,
right?
And we're down another. So
right. Well, we have less than 70 days less until kickoff. How do you feel Heupel and the rest of the coaching staff have done thus far?
Well, it's one of those things that all these departures and people getting arrested and stuff like that, you're like, is it just them being hard-nosed doing their job, or is it them not doing a good enough job? It's kind of one of those things you're not really going to know till we get to the season, team starts playing type of deal. I think you can look at it either way.
And I feel like he's done a fairly good job.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, I was reading an article, I guess just talking. I was reading an article in the Atlantic, and it was talking about the way these guys get recruited. I need to, that's a question I need to ask the previous, players that have played at UT in the past. It was interesting to see that the first thing, they have they get asked a questionnaire, what kind of snacks do you like? And blah, blah, blah. And so when they come off the plane, they have an option of a black SUV coming and pick them up. I mean, it's just amazing. And then when they get to the room, like Reese's cups or Doritos are sitting there waiting on them with the little questionnaire. Then they they go on a boat ride instantly. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, it's interesting how the recruiting inside, how they're recruiting these kids, and then the third day or the second day they have all the photo shoots on the first 2 days, and then they start saying, "Oh, let me get your weight, let me get your height, let me get your wingspan," and then they talk about, well, this is what the University of Tennessee can offer you academically. I feel like that's hilarious. I just wanted to share that little tidbit. Nothing that it's interesting how. Gibson, you're killing me with the cameras that didn't change. I'm just joking, but Brad, okay, doggone it. Which way? I mean, I'm sitting here trying to, anyways. But it's just funny. Yeah. It's funny to watch, to read that article about and then before they even talk about academics, they're talking about how they can enhance these kid or young men's brand with the new NIL. Thing coming out with name, likeness, image, and likeness, and so they're talking about that before they even talk about what the university has to offer academically. I just think it's funny in a team sport, and it's the first couple of days of the recruiting is really focusing in on spoiling or seem to spoil the kids. I mean the young men. Daggone it.
Well, I mean. Money talks these days, and so does a kid want to hear about the academics of a school and stuff, what team, or does a kid want to sit here, how are you going to make me money type situation? That's going to speak to a kid. I also have a question for you though, Jesse.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think that this bringing them in, spoiling them stuff, a lot of these kids probably come from nothing, not all of them, but I'd say there's a lot of kids that come from nothing that are getting recruited. All of a sudden, this spoiling them, nice cars, plane rides in, candy, all the food you can eat. Do you think that maybe plays a part where we see kids like Salter getting kicked off the team? They're treated like royalty on their visits. They think, I'm on the football team here. I can do whatever I want to. You think that maybe plays a part in these kids' attitude, or you think no?
Very much so. That's why I really brought this little thing up, because I very much so do. But it's interesting because the society we live in, people are like, you have to think about others, but really, they really don't. With the world of social media and blah blah blah,
yeah.
Like you said, they're not encouraging that. They're encouraging the opposite, and then they act all disappointed and disgusted when people do what they have been trained to do.
Yeah,
and I just think it's funny. So to answer your question,
back on Salter, I meant to say this, but I forgot. It is disappointing to see him kicked off the team now for two marijuana-related charges. And I mean, marijuana is legal, in 16 states, I think, recreation, something like that. So it is disappointed to see him. He can go and get this stuff legally in other states. It's kind of, if he was in a state where it's legal, would he have been kicked off the team and stuff, type situation? It's a little disappointing to see something so minor happened to him twice, and apparently his family also was going through some hard times with COVID and stuff, and it is disappointing to see. But yeah, hope the kid gets to a university, and I hope he balls out.
I think he will.
As long as he's not in the SEC, hope he balls out. Yeah,
I think he will. I think he will. But back to the Twitter, I really liked what he was saying, because he seemed like a knowledgeable person. I mean, just the way he wrote it out.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I took it as he showed love for the University of Tennessee, which I like when they do.
Right.
But it kind of, to me, I took it like he felt like he should be getting another chance, almost type deal. Like he was saying, and maybe he should be, but maybe Heupel thinks he should be getting another chance. But come from Heupel's standpoint, Heupel's hands are tied behind his back. First year coach, this guy getting arrested twice. This is the last thing Heupel needs here, you getting arrested. So I hated To's goodbye letter more, the way he kind of.
I didn't even read his.
He sort of told the fan base he'll always be Vol for life, but he's going to University
of Alabama.
I'm like, dude, don't patronize us. I'm like, just leave. Yeah. Just don't patronize us, dude. Just go to Alabama. Don't tell us you'll always be Vol for life, man, when you're going to Alabama. We realize you're doing what's best for you. We get it. Just go. Don't tell us you'll be Vol for life when you're going to Alabama. Come on. Yeah.
Okay, back to the quarterback situation. Do you feel like we had 5, so now we're down to 4. Do you feel like we're gonna have another departure before the season starts?
I don't know, because with Hooker, if Hooker doesn't get the starting spot, he may be gone. But I mean, isn't this his last year of eligibility?
Is it? I don't know.
Or because he's a grad transfer. I don't know if he's a grad transfer or not. I need to look at this as last year or not.
I don't think it is, actually. I think he has 2 million.
Okay,
I'm almost certain.
If he doesn't get the nod, I see him going. I see him leaving. I can see Maurer going. I think whatever quarterback doesn't get the nod, I could see them all transferring at the end of the year. They'll probably wait out, see if they get a chance mid-season to showcase their skills and stuff.
They all? You're saying? I mean, like you think 3 out of the?
Harrison Bailey definitely gone if he doesn't get the nod. I think, and same with Maurer. I mean, these guys are coming in. They want to showcase their skills, see what they can do, and we're getting more and more this kind of attitude where you hardly see guys like Jalen Hurts who stick it out and say, I'm going to prove, what I can do. Now, Jalen Hurts could transfer that year at Alabama when he came in and won the national championship with them. Or then he went to Oklahoma after that. But a lot of guys are just leaving. They don't get the starting job. They just want to leave. And
especially in the quarterback position.
Yeah, especially
I kind of understand because there's only one spot. You have 2 guards, you have 2 tackles. You have, on the defensive side. Yeah. But with quarterback position, there's only one starting job. Obviously, so I kind of understand, but I do. It's times have changed, buddy. I guess that's why I brought up that article. It was like, my goodness, how times have changed. It was day 3 was when they were talking about academics. I thought that was for day, maybe it's day 2, but it's at the end. It's on the tail end. But what I did like, I'm glad I brought that. We were talking about. Man, we were talking about how I felt Heupel did. They actually, or is doing as a coach, and they said that they basically come when they get all the recruits coming in. Yeah. They actually talk about the current situation with the trouble or the the NCAA. Yeah. Allegate, or what do they call it?
That's another thing.
They're talking about it. They're asking, and they're allowing the players and their families to ask questions. How is this going to affect us? I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it should be.
Just come out and just talk about that immediately.
That's another thing. We still haven't heard. We don't know what's going to be the trouble. We still haven't heard about this. I'm hoping since we turned ourselves in, and the NCAA, their plate is full right now with the Supreme Court case that they just lost and stuff. I'm hoping with us turning ourselves in, the NCAA is just kind of like, okay, thank you for telling us. Here's a little.
I think that's what they're planning.
Here's a little 2-year bowl ban or something.
What they're hoping is for one. They're hoping for this year. Okay, man. That's what they're hoping for. And that's kind of what they're telling the recruits. They're like, we're hoping it's going to be 2021 bowl game restrictions, and that's it. Which I feel like it should be, because really, in my opinion, of course, that's another topic in itself. The NCAA, it's a joke, man. It's all about money. Let's go. Come on. They're paper tigers, in my opinion, because especially the SEC and all these other Power 5 conferences could really break off and go do their own thing. So they're paper tigers, in my opinion. Go ahead. And they know that. I feel like they know that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
NCAA is one of the most corrupt organizations there is. I don't know if anyone out watching is a baseball fan, but North Carolina State was in the College World Series. If they won, they went to go play in the final. They had players out with COVID. The NCAA made them forfeit, and so they lost. They didn't even. They lost due to forfeit. These kids don't even get a chance to play in the World Series. NCAA. I'm like, you can't postpone it a few days. These kids have worked all season. They're one game away from the national championship, and you make them cancel the season. And the NCAA, it's just a corrupt organization for money and stuff like that. That's all it is.
Right. And like I said, I like to repeat myself or beat dead horses. They are paper tigers, in my opinion.
100%, yeah.
Eventually, anyways, all right. Well, I can't find, I lost I don't know if we have any more comments.
I was going to say also,
go ahead.
Back to the quarterback situation.
Back to the quarterback. We like to go round and round.
I'm excited to see what Joe Milton does. It really depends on how well Joe Milton performs this year. We talked about departures. It's going to be, we can see Joe Milton in the orange and white game, so it's going to come down to Joe Milton at the end of it see how he does, see which guys depart.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I lost my. Oh, okay. You think he's gonna win though, the job? I wasn't kind of zoned.
It's so tough to say. I really like all of them. After the orange and white game, I really thought all the guys did some things well, other than Hendon Hooker. But after the orange and white game, it was definitely between Maurer and Bailey. I thought Milton, a guy that a lot of Michigan fans thought that he didn't do as well because of the play calling and stuff with Harbaugh being in charge. So we'll see how Milton does in a very, very high-powered offense under Heupel.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We got a couple more comments from Trent Matherly. And coaches have set examples of discipline. Thank you, Trent. That's a slow train, James Hughes. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate your sarcasm. Hey, man, we have a train every show, don't we? So it wouldn't be the Play That Weight Out show without a train going on. Well, I'll tell you, man, I've ran out of what I don't have anything else to say. We've lasted 20 minutes. So you got anything else to
Oh man, it's the off season. All we can really talk about is players
really,
getting suspended so much.
Yeah. And I hope to I wasn't able to go to the camp that Juice Davis. I had some things going on trying to I had to get some things done that weekend, but I wasn't able to do that. But I'm going to try to go to one of his camps so I can get some more Vols on the show. That's what people want to watch. I mean, they don't want to hear me talk. They like to hear you talk, though, Wyatt, of course. So, I mean, that's all I have for the Play It Out, Wait Out show. And we want to thank the little viewers that we did have. And go ahead and cue the music there, buddy.
Go Vols.
Go Vols. I don't ever say that. They know that.